is Christy Griffith. I'm from Columbus Humane. Wanted to thank you for having me today so that I could answer some of your questions. I am working from home and I do have a few dogs behind me, so if you hear a little barking, that's all that is. So my first question is, how are you inspired to help animals? I have loved animals my entire life, and as a child, I unfortunately was not able to have a pet. So as soon as had moved out, gone to college, I did get a dog of my own, and just the joy that animals can bring to your life. I want to make sure that they are able to bring that to the community and that the community is caring for them. Animals can't speak for themselves, so we need to be able to speak up for them. Next question was, do you like your job? I absolutely love my job. It's not always low stress, so we do have some hard times, but it's very rewarding. It's wonderful to be with the people that I work with and helping the animals to find a better home. Also helping people to keep their animals in their home. That's one of the major things that we do. So it's keeping animals with the people who love them or helping them to find new people that will love them. How old do you have to be to volunteer? So for that, to volunteer with a parent or another adult, you only have to be 14. To volunteer on your own, you need to be 16. Okay, next question is, what can we do to help? We are always taking donations of food or supplies. We do have an Amazon wish list, and right now with the COVID-19, we are trying to ramp up our food bank to make sure that people in the community that are having a hard time feeding their animals are able to do so. So definitely donations of supplies and food, things that we can get out into the community is always, always needed, because we want to make sure that people are able to care for the animals that they have. What do you do to help animals in need? Well, we provide them medical care. We also provide shelter. We would give them food, take care of them, enrichment, which means giving them time to play, giving them the happiest life they can have. We get them ready for adoption so that they can find their new family. We also help the community by, like I had said, our food bank. So if someone's having a hard time caring for their animal, we would either help them by giving them some food. If they're having behavior issues with that animal, we would give them some counseling, give them some tips, and send them in the right direction to find ways that they can keep that animal in their home. We also help animals in the community that are being abused or neglected, animals that are in a bad situation. We are the only humane agency in Franklin County, and we are the primary law enforcement for cruelty cases. How many animals do you help a year? Well, let's see, we serve over 8,000 animals every year, whether that means they're coming into our shelter or that means that we are helping their owners to keep them at their home. How many animals are adopted each year? Last year, in 2019, 3,313 animals were adopted from Columbus Humane. So that means 3,313 animals found their new families. How many animals can you house in your building? Well, on average, we house 352 animals every day. And that was the average each day for 2019. So we had a lot of animals that we were helping last year. What inspired your organization to help animals? When the Humane Society first began, it actually helped both children and animals. At that time, this is back in the 1800s, children and animals there was nobody out there looking out for them. Children were looked at as just little adults, and they could care for themselves if their parents couldn't care for them. Well, people stepped up and they saw that neither children or animals could speak up for themselves or could care for themselves without, someone looking over them, someone helping. Well, as time went on, other organizations in child welfare cropped up, and the Humane Society switched its focus to the animals. How many animals do you have at this time? Well, right now in the shelter, I want to say, I don't know for sure because I haven't been there because we're working from home, but I believe there's in the low 20s right now, and that's only because the majority of our animals are in foster care right now. So that means that when we found out that, Ohio was going to be sheltering in place, we reached out to our community, our volunteers, and people came and they took these animals into their home to help care for them so that we could only have the animals with us that maybe needed medical care from our hospital, or animals that have come in since sheltering in place began. So, how long has your organization been around? Columbus Humane has been around since 1883. Have you ever had to take animals home because the shelter is full? I don't believe it's because the shelter is full that we've ever had that, but we do always have animals in foster. Sometimes that's because it's maybe kittens or puppies that need to be bottle fed and they need 24-hour care. So our fosters will take care of them. We also have animals that maybe have had, medical procedures and they need to be cared for, more full time, and it would be better for them to be in a home environment. We also have animals that sometimes just don't do well in a shelter setting. They get nervous, they get scared, and they just do better and they feel better when they're in someone's home. So a foster will take them. Right now, like I said, the majority of our animals are in foster care. How many animals do you rescue every day? Well, that varies, but like I said, we served over 8,000 in 2019. What kind of animals do you help? We help anything that would be considered a pet. So your dog, cat, rabbit, hamsters, guinea pigs, anything small like a ferret or a bird. So anything that you would keep in your home as a pet. That it does include snakes. So we have had snakes in the building. But we also, anything that is considered livestock. So that would be horses, goats, turkeys, chickens, ducks, anything like that. We've also had a bunch of pigs. Do you help animals with disabilities or sickness? Yes. Any animal that comes into us gets a full veterinary exam. We do have a veterinary hospital right on site for us. We, if an animal is sick, we will treat it. We will do everything we can to make it better. If an animal is injured and maybe needs surgery or something like that, then yes, we will treat that animal to the best of our ability so we can get it ready for adoption. Do you take in wild animals? No. That is actually something that would be handled by the Ohio Department of Wildlife. What is the rarest animal you rescued? Well, last year we did bring in a bunch of reptiles. So I would say probably one of them would have been one of the rarer that we have rescued, but it was still considered a pet. So we cared for it just like we would care for any other pet. Thank you again for allowing me to answer your questions. I really appreciate you considering Columbus Humane for this grant. Have a wonderful day and take care.